Hi, my name is Peter Stancavage, and I'm writing a story every week. This is one of the ones I wrote about my childhood called Acid Bath. We had a community pool in our neighborhood. It was called Miramar and featured salt water, which made it easier to float in and made us think we were natural swimmers. There was a sand beach along the south wall, 3 diving boards on the east side where the snack bar was. On the north side there was a water slide, and the west side had a concrete area where we could put our towels. Miramar was built in the 1920s on 207th Street, and it remained open until at least 1960, when I left New York City to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. I remember those summer days at Miramar, a whole day of fun in the sun for only $1. They gave you a locker key attached to an elastic strap that you wore around your ankle. The men's lockers were in the basement. It was always cold and damp down there on the concrete floor. There were also several showers that you had to use before going up to the pool, and then when you went upstairs there was a passage on the side of the building where more showers, like a giant bidet, would finish the job of rinsing you from above and below. I remember there was a wonderful slide and a high diving board and 2 smaller ones that seemed awfully high to a 10-year-old. At the shallow end of the pool there was a boardwalk of painted plywood where you could stretch out in the sun. The trouble we got into was trying to sneak past the lifeguard so we could avoid the acid bath, which was a sunken square on the way from the locker room to the pool. It was filled with chlorinated water high enough in concentration to be bright green and cause pain and any abrasions on our feet. It was supposed to kill athlete's foot, but it looked like a poison that would eat away at your feet and toenails. The girls were more afraid of it than chlorine than the boys were, because it could attack their toenail polish. There was a lifeguard chair and a lifeguard by the acid bath to make sure that people didn't try to avoid it. In the pool, we would have tea parties on the bottom of the pool where it was about 4 feet deep. The idea was to sit on the bottom and serve tea to one another in imaginary cups. The person who stayed underneath the water longest was the winner. Miramar was the first time I saw a girl's breast. It was Nancy's. Her swimsuit slipped a little bit off her shoulder and it looked like she had a pink jelly bean on her right chest. I didn't know what it was until after I told her it was showing and she pulled up her suit. This is before my interest in girls' bodies kicked in, so I didn't think much of it. The water slide was a bit dangerous because the aluminum sides were a little sharp on top. One time going down the slide, I made the mistake of grabbing the sides as I accelerated down the slide, and I cut my hands between my thumbs and my index finger on both hands. The cuts were shallow and didn't bleed much, so I kept on swimming until it was time to go home. On the way home, my hands hurt, and my mother took me to the doctor to get tetanus shots so I wouldn't get lockjaw. When I got to be 11 or 12 years old, I felt braver, so I jumped off the high board even though I was afraid of heights. After a few days jumping, I got enough courage to dive off the high board. Then I tried diving backward. I didn't put enough juice in my jump, so my back cracked against the tip of the board as I came down. I was embarrassed so much that I didn't even feel the blow on my spine. I didn't try backward diving anymore, though I kept on backward jumping. That's it. Peter Stancavage Stories. That's on Facebook.
Crazy little monkey. Are you a crazy monkey? Yes, you are. And you're a little crazy monkey. You're both crazy.
You can see the things. Peter Stancavage Stories.